I map out the hidden architecture of success, and it's not about followers. So, if you want to be successful, if you want to be rich, and if you are under, let's say, 20 or maybe under 18, you need to see this video because I'm going to talk about very crucial thing about making content. And it's not about, generalized thing. It's not obvious things that you have heard million times on YouTube. It's not about while making content, you're going to get lead, you are going to get networking opportunities, you are going to, build a personal brand, it's going to help you networking, all of that. Even though they are justifiable and valid reasons about making content, but they are very surface level. It's all about, what you are going to get instead of why do you actually need this, right? Okay, you are most of the content that you see online, it's about what you're going to get or gain from making content online. That's fine to a surface level. That is enough just to take action. But if you need depth behind it, if you want to actually understand why you need it in the first place, you can do better and you can perform better and you can have the clarity to execute better. All right. And I'm going to discuss that with you in this video. So I mapped out the hidden architecture of success, and it's not about followers, likes, or shares, or whatever the comments. It's not about those metrics. All right. So these are the five things. Let's start with the first one, the serendipity engine, which is expanding your look surface area. So, what do I mean by this? What do I mean by this? Okay. Well, most people believe luck is a lightning strike. It's random and it's uncontrollable. But luck is actually a mathematical probability you can engineer. All right. When you create content, you're expanding what technologist Jason Roberts call your luck surface area. Now, I want to give you an analogy here. Imagine networking the traditional way as hunting with a spear. You have one spear, you have only one target, and you're locked in on that target. Now, you can only catch what is directly in front of you, and it requires active calorie output. Active calorie output, basically, your brain is consuming more calories from your body and from the food you ate to improve your focus, improve the cognitive load that is happening. All right. So, because let's suppose you're doing a work, the work or hunting, they are cognitively demanding tasks. All right. You are thinking about a lot of things and it's putting stress on your mind. So they're actively consuming your bodily fluids and they're consuming your calories, right? So that is the typical networking. Yeah. You only have one target. Let me give you a more visual imagination. Let's say you go on, you have attended an event. Let's say the event lasted 4 hours. You are inside this room, you have your panels, you have all the other people here. Let's say there are only limited amount of people that you can actually connect with. First of all, this area, considering that you approach them in the first place, so there are a limited number of people who you are going to be networking with, who you are actually going to be taking their Instagram or taking one step further, taking their content information. That's going to be even lesser than the people you are going to talk. And people who you are going to talk, you're going to and they gave you their Instagram, they're also going to be less likely people who are going to be your business partner or your friend or someone. So let's say there is a very strict limit. There is a very strict limit on doing this type of thing because it's traditional networking. But even though it's very effective, you should still do it, right? It's not. I'm not telling you to stop doing networking. It's still a very effective way to grow your business. But content is like this. You are actually doing nothing. You just did something, and like infinite amount of people have watched your content, like you don't even know it, right? It's like you let's for example, there is dragon fruit. Okay, dragon fruit does not know it's a dragon fruit, but people all over the world know it's a dragon fruit. No, it's not a perfect example. I'm just telling you, dragon fruit does not know about you. It does not know about your person or as a person who you are. It does not he doesn't it doesn't know where you are even from, but you know about dragon fruit, right? Or dragon fruit knows about you, right? Dragon fruit does not know about you. That is same with all celebrities. Celebrities have a lot of fans, influencers, celebrities, whatever you want to call them. Their fans know a lot about them, but it's not vice versa. That is the point. right? That is the point. So you build the web once. So let us think the content creation as a weaving web spider. So you are going to put this web that you have made across the internet. You will build the web once and it catches the opportunities, ideas, and people while you sleep. The wider your web, the more lucky you get. That is the point. Okay, so let's say you are a celebrity. There are like 1 million of people or 100K people, they are consuming your content. And the mind-boggling thing is each one of them has their own life. Each one of them has their own life, like years and moments. Like it's unfathomable how much amount of energy is behind all this. Now, because of this, the leverage that you are going to get is actually out of the charts. You are not going and networking each and 1 million people, right? It's going, you could not network with 1 million people face to face, just physically impossible. But you can make 1 million people know about who you are. That is almost as effective as networking. Think about it, just 1 million people knowing about your business, knowing about who you are, knowing about what type of content you make, knowing about where you live, or everything, everything. And obviously, you just have to, if you want, if you are launching something, if you already have a business, if you want to promote, you have the influence to promote it to 1 million people or whatever your audience size is. Even if you have like audience size of 1K or 10K, that is still impressive. The reason it is impressive is because no one, like, think about networking 10,000 people in real time. It's physically, it's physically hell. All right. I don't think it's going to be possible, just because the amount of, even if you can meet like 10K people or 1K people, you are not going to be building a deep relationship with them, to be honest. You are just going to, get their number and all of that. That's it. That is the maximum that you can get. So let's go ahead with the next one. Next one is the cognitive crucible, thinking in public. All right. The biggest misconception about content is that you must be an expert before you create it. In reality, content is the mechanism through which you become an expert. Writing or speaking forces you to synthesize abstract thoughts into concrete frameworks. All right. You don't create content to share what you know, you create it to figure out what you know. Very insightful. Very insightful. So, the very insightful, right? I mean, it's just so deep. If you're doing a business, if you're running business, there are literally thousands of domains you can improve your business on. You have sales, you have operations, you have a HR, you have accounts, taxes, finance, networking. Also, if you go more deeper, you have body language, you have a tonality in sales, you have frame control in sales, all of that. And if you break down business in like puzzles and pieces, and if you just break down this business, what actually is business? Business is just a accumulation, is just a collection of thing, product, people, founder, system. It's just collection of things, and it's just under one bubble. All right, it's just under one bubble. So it is absolutely unrealistic for a person who is building a business who have not built a business in his life to actually understand the biggest amount of context about these individual pieces. It's simply not possible. So, but the depth of something is equals to time spent on that thing. Simple as that. The more time you are going to spend on something, the more depth and the more context you are going to get about that thing. It is context. It is, you know correlated. That's the point. But this is the more common misconception is that for content you have to be expert. You actually, first of all, you don't have time to think about being expert or not. First of all, you don't have time. You actually don't have time. You have limited amount of time in the world. You don't have to overthink that you want to be expert. There are like vloggers. They are like entertainment people. They are like people who are actually making cringiest content imaginable, and they understand that they don't have time. They just take action on it. That they just record. They don't have time. They don't, even if they have time, they prefer to not think about it. That is the point. All right. If you think you want to be an expert, you have to be expert on something, my friend, you are actually limiting yourself, because there are like 8 billion people around the world, and I don't know, like multi 100 million content creators. Not all of them are experts. The experts you see online are literally like 0.1% or something like that. They are so few. It is absolutely unfathomable. Like the rest of 99% of people that you see online are just cringe creators, just entertainment purposes, just casual creators just for entertainment, just basically fall under entertainment or health. That is the point. The genuine expertise all is less than 1 or 2%. That is fine, because that is the point of being expert. You are one of the top persons to have that expertise in that field. Obviously, it's going to be few people in the world who are going to experience, and it's fine. But that does not mean, and it should not stop you from creating content, right? Unspoken ideas in your head are trying to carry water in your hands, right? Unspoken ideas in your head are like trying to carry water in your hand. It is going to be messy, formless, and constantly slipping through your fingers. Creating content is building a bucket. The process of organizing your thoughts into a piece of content forces you to forge a container that can actually hold weight, stand up to scrutiny, and be passed to others, obviously. All right. So, as I said, whatever ideas you have, first of all, your human cognition ability is very powerful and also very weak. You could not hold that thought or idea for long time, obviously. And your all of the information that you're consuming over the years is going to fade away, because of your brain automatically backshelves that. You not erase that, it just forgets about it. It's just not important to your specific information. But if you record what you learned into a content, not only you are influencing people with it, you are influencing your lung surface area, because you are increasing chances to be more successful, and also you are improving the capability to increase your retention rate of your mind. All right. So all the idea that you have learned, make if you made that into content, you will have at least 30 times better results compared to just reading that or just trying to act on it or something. All right. It's going to be 30 times better, because you're actually understanding the depth behind it. You're articulating, you're using your mind, your mouth, you know, and you're making script, you're making Miro or something like that. So you are actively pursuing the depth behind the idea. And obviously, it's not only going to be better than surface level consumption, it's going to be better than average people. Very impressive. Let's get ahead. Let's go ahead. The asynchronous clone, which is infinite leverage. Now, what do I mean by that? Historically, to gain leverage, you needed capital, money, or like, for example, money to buy machines or something like that, or labor. All right. Both required permission. Both require permission. Content, on other hand, is permissionless leverage. A piece of media you create has zero marginal cost of reproduction. It can be consumed by one person or 1 million people with exact same effort on your part. Just think about this. It is absolutely unfathomable the effect you have. It's like you just did something. Let's say you lifted a dumbbell or something. Lifted a dumbbell. Let's say you exercise, you lifted a dumbbell, you exercise, and you're going to get muscle out of it. Obviously. Now, on this second scenario, you did the same thing, you did the same thing, and you're going to get the muscle, but the effects are multiplied by amount of people that are consuming your content. That is infinite. That is actually infinite. Let me give you more specific business example. Let's say you are doing cold DM to a prospect. Now that cold DM is only sent to one person, right? But on the other hand, the cold DM that you have made and showed it, the system that you have showed it on your YouTube channel or Instagram page or whatever, can be seen by like infinite amount of times. Just think about the scale. Just just think about the scale of compounding, it's off the charts. How are you going to compete with this? It is not possible. That's the point. That is the point. Every piece of content you publish is a tireless, autonomous diplomat. You are sending out an army of miniature clones of yourself to negotiate on your behalf. They don't need a salary. They never sleep. They don't take holidays. And they pitch your worldview perfectly 24/7/365 to anyone willing to listen. Simple as that. Absolutely amazing, amazing piece of thing that you should do. Fourth reason, what I bet is fine. Inverting the chase. Inverting the chase. Success often depends on who you know, but actively trying to network with highly successful people is a losing game. They are too heavily guarded. All right. They have their own gatekeeping things, like, for example, private clubs. The access to ultra rich people is actually very limited and heavily guarded. To be honest, if you genuinely want to meet a rich person, you have to spend significant amount of money on clubs, golf clubs, sports like badminton or paddle or something like that. And it's most of the people, to be honest, should not consider it because it's good method. You will have good return on investment on it, but it depends heavily on your networking skills. Even if you have money, it's unlikely that you are going to make significant amount of return on investment on your money on your first conversation. All right. Even if you have good networking, I mean, you should have exceptional networking to make to get the contact of a millionaire or billionaire on your first meeting. You have to be exceptional. You have to be very, at least an outlier of networker to be at that level. But most of the people are not. They have skills, sales skills, but not networking skills. They are, by the way, they are two different and distinct skills. They are too heavily guarded. Content act as a beacon that allows them, the highest signal people, to find you. It shifts your posture from outbound seeking to inbound attracting. Let me give you an example. Most ambitious people are like a searchlight, frantically scanning the dark, hoping to illuminate a mentor, or investor, or a partner. A content creator, on the other side, builds a lighthouse. They stand firmly in the domain, radiating their unique obsessions, and let the ships navigate into the dark to come to them. Very beautiful example. So if you are a founder, if you need investment, you have basically two, three choices. Either you go into the events like startup funding or something like that, or seed capital, Y Combinator, and all of that. You are like a searchlight. You're basically into a dark night. You're trying to search out. You're trying to find people. You're trying to find opportunities, scanning the your environment, which is absolutely dark. You have absolutely no visibility because obviously, as a founder, as a beginner bootstrap founder, you will have low, uh, low. What is the right word here? Low experience, low knowledge, no network. You're starting from scratch, right? Obviously, you are. It's like you are in a night. You just have your flashlight in your hand, and you're just roaming around in a horror movie or something. But on the other hand, you should build a lighthouse. Lighthouse, it does not do anything. It just stands there. It just is there on an island and it's just radiating its light. And the ships, who are people who are interested, who like what you see, they get attracted to you. The lighthouse is just not going anywhere. It is what it is. It's just staying there for a longest amount of time. And people who are interested will attract to you because obviously they like what they see. That is the one of the most impressive ways to attract investors or opportunities to grow your business or your relationship or somewhere like that, like just like your Instagram. That also works for dating, by the way. If you have a good Instagram that is in public profile, by the way, you can attract a lot of good chicks. Not going to lie. Yeah, let's go ahead. The proof of work lecture. In a world of infinite credentials, resumes are become obsolete. The market no longer trusts what you say you can do. The market no longer trusts what you say you can do. It demands to see how you think. A library of content serves as an immutable, publicly verifiable ledger of your intellectual evolution, work ethic, and judgment. A resume for example, a resume is like renting an apartment. You are temporarily asking for space in an employer's or credit client's word. When the lease is up, you walk away with no equity. Content, on the other hand, is buying a digital real estate. Every article, video, or podcast is a break in fortress that you own entirely. Even if one venture fails, your real estate remains yours, compounding in value. It is absolutely so simple to understand this. I don't even have to draw some, door rules and stuff to explain this. Absolutely. It's like, obviously, it is compounding your image, your self image. The person who, for example, let's say you want to, there is a girl. This is the girl that you want to attract. I don't know. Let's give her hair or something. Yeah, I don't know if it's looking like a girl or not, but yeah. So this is the girl that you want to attract. Now, this is you. This is you. You have your tiny hands, tiny legs. Now, this girl, if she sees you, first of all, from a lens, from their own paradigm and all of that. Let's say the lens is they first see you physically. You are in real life. You are just who you are. It depends. Now, if they see you on real life, it all comes down to how you are dressed, how you are articulating yourself. Are you confident enough? Are you well groomed? Or all of that. Let's say the lens is Instagram. Now, she saw you first on Instagram and they are going to judge you based on Instagram too. Okay, this guy, I've seen him in real life, but his Instagram is actually very interesting. And the interest in her obviously is going to rise, right? The attraction towards you is going to rise. That is same with employers, employees, and all of that. HR people first look at their LinkedIn profile, looking at LinkedIn, and they hire people who are more active on LinkedIn because it is influencing the image of you in the people, right? It is improving your self image, right? Obviously, and they are going to prefer you more than the people who have not who don't have what you have. And this girl is going to prefer the person who actually will have more than you, to be honest. um and if they find a person who does not match what you have, they are going to prefer you. Very simple. It's just it's just like, the more things, the more interesting you are, the more cool shit you are doing, the more cool shit you are building. Cool in a sense that it might be the most boring shit, the most boring business, but you are doing something that is significant, that is changing someone's life or changing your life or changing something in a micro or macro level. That is what I refer to as the interesting part. And it's going to influence other people. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's it for the video. Subscribe. Bye.